Coming up on this week's edition of Ghost Forest Hunters, the tree killers of Little Three Creeks Lake.
You know, I can't really say I'm that much into ghosts, but I have been accused of being a tree hugger. So when my geology friend Hal told me he was hiking in the woods and saw something that indicated a group of trees had all been killed in an instant, he had my full attention.
And I noticed something weird. Down below me there was a lake, and in the lake there was a bunch of dead trees sticking up out of the lake. What I've learned as a geologist is that when you see dead trees in a lake, there's often an interesting story. There's gotta be a reason why there's all these dead trees in the shallow part of the lake.
Now, ghost trees occur when some outside, possibly evil force wipes out a batch of trees in an instant. So we needed more than a geologist. So Hal called in the heavy hitters.
He asked me if I knew about a ghost forest up near Tamacartha Rim, and I have not heard of this ghost forest. So of course I was super excited to hear about what Hal had found and to of course use dendrochronology as a tool to maybe piece together a little bit of the timing of the events that created this ghost forest.
I have no idea what dendrochronology really is.
So we can look at the roots of the word, dendro referring to tree and chrono referring to time. So in dendrochronology, we can assign a year date to each individual ring in a tree's life history.
My hypothesis is that when the landslide went into the lake level rose, because it's basically like you put a bowling ball in a bathtub, the bathtub level rises, and it flooded the forest on either side and killed the forest.
Our ghost forest hunting begins as we put our cutting-edge technology and powers of observation to work when we stumble on the first suspect in this ghost forest mystery.
A simple earthen dam, likely put in there by the Forestry Service, had gone completely under our radar. Or LiDAR, to be more accurate.
LiDAR is remote sensing technology that uses laser light to create 3D models of surfaces.
Now that I look at it, it's clear as day. I've looked at that LiDAR so many times and never seen it because I wasn't looking for it.
Right.
So we're pretty sure the lake was dammed, presumably somewhere during the 20th century. And probably when it was dammed, the lake level rose.
Now, just because there's a dam there doesn't mean it's an open shut case. We've got the LiDAR, we've got the dendrochronologist. We're gonna go deep. About knee deep.
Right there.
Hal goes back to the LiDAR.
When we look at the bulging edge that goes into the lake, that is what I will scientifically describe as rumply bumply terrain. It's also known as hummocky terrain. That's classic landslide terrain.
And where there's rumply bumply terrain, that's where we need to go. But first, we got to get our core sample from a tree in the lake to determine when it died and if it matches with the trees up in the rumply bumply terrain. But when we first got in the water, some dark figures emerged. Thousands of them.
My goal is to not get chest deep. God, these tadpoles are awesome. Yeah, they're big fatties.
We determined them to be tadpoles, possibly ghost tadpoles. And while I can't confirm that they are ghost tadpoles, Rebecca did encounter an accident on the way out to the tree. Or was it?
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
I'm not saying it was ghost tadpoles, but it was ghost tadpoles.
Like Holmes and Watson, Rebecca and Hal got to work getting our first sample. But that sample may not give up its secrets anytime soon.
A lot of these rings are fairly even in their width, so that means it's really difficult to pick out a unique pattern that this is going to match up to.
But still, the team is undaunted, with unwavering eyes on the rumply bumply terrain. Because as they say,
when the going gets difficult, the difficult get going.
You call me difficult?
You prima donna geologist, you know.
Expect a martini with my lunch?
the challenge is that in order to solve this grisly Tannenbaum-related crime, we're gonna have to get into the deep stuff.
There's a bunch of hemlock here. So all on that hummocky stuff, those are hemlocks.
It's rumply bumply.
Rumply bumply.
Come on, use
On
the
the rumply.
dignified scientific term.
If Rumply Bumply it is, then Rumply Bumply it is. But we'll save that for part 2.
For Central Oregon Daily News, I'm the disembodied spirit of Scott Elmas.